The energy level is already high as we join you from Nat Holman Gymnasium on the campus of CCNY as the CUNY Athletic Conference brings you the Men's Basketball Championship game presented by Army ROTC. Defending champion CSI, the College of Staten Island, in at 16-11. They take on the #1 seed, Lehman Lightning. Lehman getting past John Jay easily in their semifinal. CSI had a great battle as a 3 seed, getting past 2-seeded Peru. And with that, hello and welcome tonight on Facebook Live. Alongside former Baruch College coach Ray Rankus, I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Lehman had their hearts broken last year, losing the semis at the buzzer, but they are back to take on the defending champions who have a brand new look. The Lightning have been thinking about this moment all season long, Ray. They come back with a collection of talent and a special guard in Luis Hernandez.
Luis Hernandez is a special player. Here you have to appreciate a guy that gives you 20 points a game, 6 assists a game, 5 rebounds. But more important than that, he is clutch. The first game against Staten Island, he hits a basket at the buzzer, puts it overtime, they win. Second game they play, he hits another basket at the buzzer, and they win by 1. You cannot play to the moment any better than Luis Hernandez.
He is their leading scorer and a new coach at CSI, taking over the Hall of Famer Tony Petosa. Former star point guard TJ Tibbs. All he did was find a breakout star at the position in sophomore Christian Taylor.
Taylor last year played behind one of the best players to ever play in CUNY, Frank Scatino. Tibbs, being a point guard himself and a great one at that, gave the ball into Taylor's hands and said play. And Taylor's the type of player, because he's a taller point guard, sees over people, and again, gives you 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. You can't do any better than that.
For CSI, the point guard is Christian Taylor, a first-teamer with Rossiter, Edin Bracic, Adiola Latunji, and Stephen Flagg, a very small bunch of Dolphins that look to push the tempo. And for the Lehman Lightning, Milo Mitchell's the point guard with the explosive Hernandez, Marcial, Ute, and Akalonu. The third member of our crew working the sideline tonight is Jillian Sakovitz.
Good evening, guys. Now, despite being the defending champs, Staten Island is the surprise team here. Coming into this season, they had a new head coach in TJ Tibbs and a lot of new faces. And at 16-11 overall, it took this team some time to gel. But getting here tonight, it all goes back to the beginning of the season at their first meeting when Coach Tibbs told them, listen, despite the changes, the expectations are the same. And they're here tonight. Now, as for Lehman, it has been a long time coming after falling in 4 straight semifinal games. It's a championship great, and that's what they look to prove here tonight. Guys?
Underway with CSI with a driving layup. Edin Bracic off the backdoor feed. He's a junior from St. Louis, Missouri, who has had a terrific season. And it's a 2-0 start for the Dolphins, who come in winning 2 in a row, 16-11 overall. And the defending champions is the side backboard look from Andrew Ute, not the look that Lightning would like. And here comes Taylor to run the Dolphins attack. Staten Island Ray, a much improved team as you might expect. New head coach TJ Tibbs, several new faces, but they have found a way to play their best basketball in February as Rob Rossiter misses a 3.
Rossiter is one of those players, as he goes, so does the team.
Luis Hernandez flips the pass inside and the layup no good from Clinton Akalonu. He is the biggest Lehman player at 6'5". Generally tonight we will be seeing 2 teams that play with 4 guards exclusively. Bracic, backdoor cut, and a block shot from the side by Lehman. The Lightning pushing with Ute. Ute as he barreled in and threw Bracic. The rebound as the layup was short. Stephen Flagg on the kick. Rossiter will try it in the corner. Offensive rebound, Flagg. Lehman would love to push, led by Hernandez, as he takes it through Taylor and scores. First bucket for a first-team all-conference performer.
Exactly what we were expecting from Hernandez. Open court play, intelligent, and a finisher.
Hernandez, just dynamite, a junior college transfer. Niagara Junior College outside of Buffalo. There's a rejection by Akolanu as Christian Taylor thought he had the defender in the air. Down the extra kick out by Milo Mitchell. They leave it for Ute for three.
And that is their game. Transition, transition, transition. They got the block shot to get out on the break. Wide open shot for Ute. Very unselfish.
Andrew Ute, second team All-Conference last year, stepped it up to a first-team honor this year as Hernandez comes up with another takeaway. But then it's stolen right back by Stephen Flagg. And now we have a whistle.
Early foul on Hernandez. Very important.
Our head coaches, congratulations to Steve Schulman, his 18th season, winning once again the CUNY Coach of the Year honors for the third time in his career. 22-4. They've won 14 in a row, and their four losses, Ray, by a total of just 18 points. Their last loss back in January the 5th.
Very special team, and he's the type of coach where the players just run through a wall for him. Very together.
Here the drive, Adiola Latunji. What a tough shot for the second teamer. He is a transfer from University of Albany, where he was a student for a couple of years. And this ball is thrown off of Hernandez by Edin Bracic.
And Eddie Bracic is the defensive player of the conference. If they had a Defensive Player of the Year award, he'd be the one that would get it. Always covers the toughest player and created that solely by himself.
Bracic, fifth in the conference, nearly 2 steals a game for the 6'3" senior that has stepped up his offense of late too. Stephen Flagg on a low block. Rob Rossiter's third look at a three. This one goes down. A 36% three-point shooter. CSI back in front.
You give a good shooter enough open looks, that's what happens.
Ute chased off the arc, steps into a two.
Pretty. He knows that they're going to run at him. He's a 42% three-point shooter. He just showed the ball, went by him.
Andrew Ute, a senior out of Mount St. Michael's Academy in the Bronx.
This is what Lehman wants to do.
Hernandez, the quick pull-up. Luis Hernandez engaged early with his second big jumper. He shoots an incredible 42% from three. Number 1 in the conference.
They're going zone right now. Very atypical for Lehman.
Bracic short on that three. So CSI already 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. As Hernandez steps through Bracic, and Bracic's very good defense got the tie-up. Lehman will keep it at the first media timeout. TJ Tibbs in his first year taking over for Hall of Famer Tony Petosa. He's got a brand new group, and he refused to call this a rebuilding year. In 2012, in his senior season, he took the Dolphins to the Sweet 16.
TJ is one of those people who's just a presence. Players play through him. As we're watching the replay there. The other thing that you have to recognize with TJ is very simply, he's somebody that players will run through a wall. Both Schulman, both TJ, perfect people to be leaders. In fact, I saw Black Panther yesterday. These players, both teams, are ready to run through them.
Our officials, Doug Abrahamian, doing the honors, just came over. They want to look at that last three by Luis Hernandez earlier. Over to our monitor. That was a Hernandez three. That gave us the current score 10-7. We'll see if we can provide a look to check if it was a 2 or a 3. And again, the Hernandez three that was in transition. That was very close. That's what they're looking at, the last make.
You have an exceptional officiating crew today with Mike Palau, Tim Smith, and Doug Abrahamian, and for them to come over and check it so soon They understand that every possession, every point, big.
It took just one look. Credit to Doug. Not wasting any time. And that's the second main three for Lehman, who have opened up, knocking down their first two. They're 39% from three as a team, first in the conference. But Ute missed his three.
They dodged the bullet. They got him wide open off inbounds play. Once again, they're trapping on the baseline out of the zone.
Look at the foul against the Lightning. Underneath. As TJ Tibbs, boy, to continue the story, it was really fun catching up with him as he understood being an assistant coach in the conference at your old stomping grounds at Baruch under Coach John Alisi, that this was a good roster coming back, maybe better than people thought, as Brocic missed a three. And Hernandez on the push. And the backdoor cut. The pass carried through to Gene Marcial. And a reset for the Lightning. An offense that is number one in the conference in scoring at 84 points per game, 19th in the country. This is Marcial. And good defense inside by the Dolphins.
And that's something the Dolphins are going to do. They're going to play behind the post player.
Another Lehman foul. As Steve Schulman talked about this matchup, he had grave concern about it. Two tight games, one in overtime, the other at the buzzer. Especially on the subject of Christian Taylor, the sophomore point guard for CSI. Steve admitted, I didn't sleep for a couple nights. I was trying to think and devise ways. How can I slow down their terrific sophomore point guard?
Well, Taylor is one of those players where Staten Island will run everything through him.
Another Lehman foul, so they're starting to pile up. That'll be team foul number 4.
And it's very interesting what Lehman's doing. They have probably played 95% of the season man-to-man, and they're playing like a soft 2-3 zone where they're matching out and running out on the shooters. But Taylor's not getting any clean looks.
This is Adiola Latunji. What a surprise he was. Attending Albany as a student for 2 years out of Curtis High School. But he had the itch that he had to scratch to be an athlete again.
And he's the second leading scorer on the team. He's a great finisher, great 15-foot in, but he gives you 15 to 16 points a game, and he's just very active near the basket. He's a good rim protector.
TJ Tibbs was fortunate that he's known him since Adiola was 10 years old. He was in TJ's AAU program, and they recruited him out of high school before Latunji first decided to focus on academics attending Albany. Great moves inside, but the layup could not be finished by John Brenz, who essentially plays starters minutes for Lehman, and he is one of their remarkable 10 seniors on the team.
Open look.
The three knocked down from Christian Taylor.
Can't allow that. And it's interesting how they're going to be defending Brenz. They were going to play totally off of him, forcing him to shoot.
Brenz, tough left-hand layup. He's able to score. He has really bought in. He was a one-time starter early on in his career in the program.
And as a coach, you just love playing or watching him play and what he does, because what he wants to do more than anything else is share the ball. He's a pass-first guard.
Tied at 12. Good start tonight from the campus of CCNY. Open look at a three against the zone is knocked down. Raymond Savage.
Oh my, he's one of those special players that coaches adore, and he will be a coach someday himself.
Staten Island has knocked down 3 from beyond the arc. This is a step back 3 that is off by Lehman. On the miss from Tavon Bennett. They'll make that Milo Mitchell. Latunji flashed to the post and then hits a tough turnaround.
Pretty turnaround jump shot. He flashes into the lane. Mistake by Lehman's defense. And you can see Lehman kind of talking to each other right now. They're not used to playing behind.
Mitchell straight on. And Staten Island so far has been even with Lehman on the glass. And Latunji may have over-dribbled. Savage will take the 3.
And off we go to the races.
Hernandez seeing an opening.
And you look at that body control. He just could not finish. There's a little frustration in his face right now.
Luis Hernandez, last time the two teams met, had 32 points against CSI, including the game winner at the buzzer.
And
but they made him work for it on February the 10th. Ray, he shot 11 of 23.
And Lehman is back to their man-to-man, and what they did as a bread and butter offense, running pick and rolls for Taylor. If you don't pick him up, jump shot.
Taylor with 5 off the turnaround. Another 3 by Lehman is short by Marcial.
And this is one of those circumstances where you can see Schulman waiting for the media timeout. And if something bad happens, he may take one anyway.
Taylor switching to the right hand. Offensive foul.
That is big. Everyone on the Lehman team takes charges. Everyone.
Tapping on the floor. CSI, the defending champs, off to a good start from CCNY.
At Lehman College, your dreams turn into aspirations, your motivations into actions. At Lehman, we help you achieve your goals today. Lehman shows you how to transform your hard work and commitment into a smarter and better future for all of us. Together, we inspire each other and empower each other because we believe in dreams. Here, students don't just study cancer, they strive to cure it. They don't just study business, they start their own. They don't just play music, they create it. They don't just live in our community, they change it. Every day, our amazing faculty and students who come from all over the world follow their dreams and create their own Lehman stories. Here at Lehman College, what will your story be?
A good shooting start for the College of Staten Island. At 44%, they've held Lehman to 33%. The Lightning, the conference's #1 offense, and top 20 in the country. Ralph Bernarczyk with Ray Rankus, Jillian Sakovitz, and our entire group tonight joining you on Facebook Live from the campus of CCNY. Earlier tonight, the Brooklyn College women's basketball team winning their first championship since 1980. Lehman trying to make some history themselves. They're looking for their first since 2004. Off the hesitation dribble, layup missed, no good by Milo Mitchell. The battle for the rebound, Mitchell stays with it and puts it in.
What fortitude, what toughness on the part of Mitchell. Missed the first shot, stayed with it, penetrated. And that's one of the keys to stand out, to keep them out of the lane.
Stephen Flagg had his first shot blocked, but then he finishes with an and one on the other end.
Flagg is one of the glue players, and because he's athletic as he is, he's somebody, when he gets to the rim, he's going to finish. And you're watching right now, when they shoot the free throws, they're sending 4 players back. And that is one of the real keys for Lehman, to stopping Lehman. Lehman likes to run off of makes, off of misses, off of free throws, everything. That's the key to defend that transition.
And an instant offensive foul using the off arm by Milo Mitchell. And that is 16 fouls, less than 10 minutes into the championship game.
And 16 fouls versus 1. You can anticipate Steve to start talking and barking at the referees to kind of equalize. And there was a push off by Glass. He will talk to the officials about that.
Christian Taylor, now 6'4" sophomore Jade Spencer into the game for the first time for CSI. He's the biggest Dolphin they have. There's a big block shot by Akalanu.
My, that was impressive on Akalanu's part. But if you watch what Staten Island is doing, they're screening for Taylor, and then they re-screen. Whoever is the big on Lehman, his man is going to be setting the screens because they do not feel that he's going to come and help. They like to hedge, not switch.
Taylor, as he's trapped, then nearly had it ripped away. It'll be a jump ball to point the way of the Dolphins. John Brenn's got his hands in there.
And 5 on the shot clock.
And they throw the lob. Maybe Taylor thought that he could get there first, but then he changed his route. On the other end, Hernandez showing more body control. He delivers an and one.
As we watch this, there is no other player in the conference that can make this play. He shows up, gets him off balance, and then creates the body contact and has the hang time to still make the basket. And again, open court play, exactly what Lehman needs to kind of get their footing and to get settled.
The percentages by Luis Hernandez are just terrific. But at 84%, leading the conference, he misses the free throw. Nearly a steal before Akalanu rips it away from Bracic. Up ahead, Milo Mitchell finding Brenz the trailer, and he's fouled.
That is quintessential Lehman College basketball. Pressure on the ball, pressure on the passing lanes, and their defense to offense transition was lightning quick. No pun intended on their nickname.
So this will be a pair for John Brenz. He missed one game this season, as we saw Steve Schulman, and in that game, he said to himself, that made me realize how important he is. He is a sixth starter for this team, a security blanket that knows how to handle the big moments and playing either 10 minutes or 28 minutes. And Brenz misses both. So not a good start for Lehman at the free throw line as the number 1 seed trails the defending champion College of Staten Island by 5. As we're past the midway point of the first half, as Savage lobbed it up and a layup converted. James Spencer on the receiving end.
Beautiful, intuitive play by Savage. As soon as he saw the help come, he threw that ball to the corner of the rim, knowing that his big was going to be there because the defender was helping.
Brenz got a double screen in front of him. And it is Mitchell who plays off the ball when Brenz is in the game. Hernandez defended by Savage. They force him into a tough one. The layup up by Brenz is missed. And then a Lehman foul. And this is team foul number 7. There'll be free throws the rest of the half for the Dolphins.
And this so plays into Staten Island's hands because they want to slow the tempo down. More times you go to the free throw line, the more times Lehman has to walk the ball up the court. If you watch the last sequence, they were running a sequence where they were running stagger screen, and then they were forced to take a forced shot.
This is Eden Bracic, their third leading scorer, 4-year starting senior. And when you have a coaching change, certainly you need players to re-buy in. That was a time for Coach T.J. Tibbs when he took over. Had to have a long conversation with Bracic. And that honeymoon period when you have a player that had his heart set playing for the coach that initially recruited him, as Hall of Famer Tony Petosa decided to retire in July.
And Petosa is the all-time leading coach, so that buy-in was important.
Utate switching to his right hand, tough drive.
Big
from
play
Andrew Utate.
because he's been quiet the last 4 or 5 sequences. They have to find ways to get him touches.
Christian Taylor got to the rim. There's a follow from James Spencer.
And getting to the rim, broke down the Lehman defense. Spencer comes in. Great washerwoman basket.
I've never heard that one before, Ray, but it's been a while since I saw you.
Old school basketball. Been hanging out with Hubie Brown.
Luis Hernandez hits again. He's up to 9 to lead all scorers. Back to the man-to-man look for Lehman. This time on the drive, lefty layup is off from Rigo Desteam off the CSI bench. And then fighting for the rebound is Spencer. But they get him for traveling with a timeout on the floor. 27-20. The College of Staten Island leading number 1 seeded Lehman tonight from CCNY.
I'm a CUNY early college graduate where I graduated with my high school diploma and associate's degree. Being that I was so young taking college classes gave me more motivation to continue my education. I went on to finish my undergrad at Brooklyn College. And I currently work as a 6th grade math teacher at the same very school that I graduated from as an early college student.
(27-20), the College of Staten Island leading the Lehman Lightning. Third meeting of the season between these two teams. Both came down to the end, including a game that was decided in overtime. Lehman was able to find a way to win both of them. Shooting numbers just about even, but for Coach Steve Shulman and the Lightning, the rest of this first half may be drastically changed because they're already in the single bonus against them with 17 fouls.
This totally changes the way you sub, the way you coach, and especially when you fall behind a little bit. They've been playing like Mike Tyson basketball. They're ready for the quick knockout, and to get you on your heels and force you to play a defensive style. Staten Island, by getting the early lead, has changed totally both teams' mindsets.
The Dolphins have led this one by as many as 9. It's been trimmed to 7 with possession for Lehman in the white as Tavon Bennett goes to the basket. He's a senior out of Harlem, New York that's bounced around. He was a good addition to this team. He gets the field goal to cut it to 5.
And a big play because Savage was so hard denying Hernandez, who's their go-to man, that they had to find some other way to get to the rim.
Savage, and now Taylor had it knocked away in the high post. Milo Mitchell defense. Taylor, he is blocked, and through traffic, he got it back with 1 to shoot. Almost hit the shot, and Lehman recovers the loose ball.
And here we go. This is what Lehman wants to do. They're going to look to try to push.
Hernandez with no hesitation on target for 3.
Mamma mia. He's got some intestinal fortitude.
First, make it the second 3 for Luis Hernandez.
And now they're down 2.
And in Bracich right back with his first 3.
And it's totally out of rhythm for the offense. Bracich is one of those players who the coaches want to shoot more,
Hernandez picking up the foul. CSI has knocked down 4 threes.
Very smart on the part of Hernandez. He knows that Savage is going to give him a lot of problems getting the ball, but once he gets the ball, he knows, as we saw just that in that replay, that there's no way that Savage can cover him.
Steve Shulman points out there's 2 things that make him special. Number 1, unbelievable athlete, but number 2, his personality. He is just such a ball of energy as Bracich trying to draw the charge. And it's infectious to this veteran Lehman team with 10 seniors as Acalano misses the mid-range jumper.
You got a cramp on the side.
Ray, you and I came into the game commenting, you know, it's kind of cold in the gym, but you can pick up a cramp in any situation, as that appears to be
cold in
Bracich.
the gym. We had to hug each other to get some heat. But no, I agree with Bracich. Just went down. You could tell it's his calf injury right there. And again, these are things that are untoward, unsettled. And how do the coaches figure out what they're going to do, and when they have to deviate away from the norm?
So the very valuable Edin Bracich exits the game for CSI. He's got 7 points, but his defense may be even more valuable.
And once again, hard pressure on Taylor. They will not let him get an easy possessional again. Let's see if they go back to the high pick and roll for him.
Savage, beautiful backdoor look. Taylor fumbled it.
And that
be last touch by Lehman.
And that was the set they ran right at the beginning of the game. 2 backdoor cuts, one for a layup, one block shot. But they know that Lehman likes to deny and deny hard. They will let him shoot.
Taylor maneuvers through, and they'll get him for that hesitation step leading to a travel.
Lehman did a wonderful job of shrinking the court on Taylor. When he saw the long arms, he hesitated and thought. And we never want players to think too much. You want them to be intuitive, spontaneous.
The sixth turnover by CSI. Lehman gives it right back with one. With the travel on Andrew Ute.
Ute, that's an atypical maneuver on his part. He's someone that usually lets the game come to him, but he's not been getting the usual touches. Staten Island's been doing a superb job of keeping the ball away from him.
Rob Rossiter back on the floor, chased off the three-point arc, and then takes it to the rim.
And that's a rarity for Rossiter. Rossiter is a great pick-and-pop player. He is not comfortable putting it on the floor, and he went all the way to the rim.
A two-year starter that played well in last year's championship game right here at CCNY against the CCNY Beavers. And that was won in a thrilling fashion by CSI 77-66. Akalanu barging into Rossiter, called for traveling.
And it was very interesting on that possession. Hernandez was calling for a post-up, but that is not part of Lehman's game. He had the smaller Savage covering him, and Savage was just getting into his grill, fronting him, making it difficult, and Lehman was not able to. And to be quite truthful, it's a skill that we do not see that much in basketball, the ability to feed the post.
Christian Taylor to organize for CSI. Savage hit one earlier from there, and rebound controlled by Tavon Bennett. And on the other hand of that, Ray, this is an atypical situation with this Lehman team that's been shocked in the semifinals the last couple of years, playing in their first final. There are just much different nerves, as we talked about. Flag giving it back to Latunji.
Beautiful basketball. That's like the first drill that you teach first day of practice. 2-on-0, 2-on-1, unselfish, fun basketball. And look at this. We've got Staten Island up by 9.
The finger roll right back. Milo Mitchell, a Miami kid that had some family in the area. He wants to be in TV and film. Puts together a lot of videos about Lehman coming into the season. He hopes to put together a championship film if this one is in their favor, as Taylor came up short on the layup. Hernandez pushes. Ute on the feed inside. And the lefty look doesn't go for Gene Marcial.
They are just a little bit rushed. Staten Island is finding one of their keys was to get back on defense, the transition game, and they have done a terrific job of minimizing Lehman's game.
Flag out to Savage. Lehman had the good box out on Rossiter from Gene Marcial with a timeout on the floor. Great energy in the building tonight at CCNY.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Staten Island holding a 7-point lead over number 1 seeded Lehman tonight. Late first half of the CUNY men's basketball championship game. Well, Coach TJ Tibbs, such a young coach that started his collegiate career, Ray, with a lot of promise. He went to Division I Monmouth University for a year. He initially turned down CSI 3 times. He left, he went to Wagner for a year as a student. Thought about not playing again before he got the itch again, but he eventually started coaching, including last year's unusual circumstance where he was at Baruch York, where he used to be an athletic director and the head coach at. Left midway through the season to go be an interim coach at a rebuilding Division III Mount St. Vincent program. Went 4-4 in 8 games. and almost didn't even apply for this job. He applied on the last day you were able to. He got in before the deadline, and now he's looking for a championship tonight.
And that was from the encouragement of Tony Petosa, as we see Ute posting up, which is his staple. It slows them down, it gets them to the foul line, now they can go to their pressure defense. But back to Tibbs, when you were talking about him, he so deifies Tony Petosa. All-time winningest coach in CUNY, and in fact he compliments the fact that Tony now texts more than he ever texted before.
I thought Tony was a good texter, to be honest, even before this recently happened. But I suppose TJ could be correct on that.
They communicate before and after each game. The wonderful thing about TJ is he connects. He connects with his players. He connects with the people that work. He has a presence. He's going to be a superb coach on this level, or if he goes to the next level. He just knows his stuff. Free throws again.
1 of 2 for Andrew Ute.
They're now 1 out of 5 up from the free throw line.
Lehman has hung around because they're shooting up to 46% in this first half, as Rossiter got stuck, but is fortunate to pick up another Lehman foul.
Bad defense on the part of Lehman, just allowing him to cut from the weak side.
Miguel Habush, 6'3" freshman forward, charged for the foul for Lehman. And here's Rob Rossiter again, out of the very well-known Rossiter family, one of the first families of Staten Island basketball. Former coach Tony Petosa played in high school with his father and Uncle Steve, going back to grammar school. And Rob is the cousin of the great Ryan and Steve Rossiter, who both played Division I basketball. Steven played at Davidson with Steph Curry.
And a sublime player he was. And the father was a terrific player.
1 of 2 for Rob Rossiter.
And it was interesting what happened on that last possession. Old school basketball is when someone comes into the game, you run something at him. And that's what Rossiter did. He did a weak side cut as we watch Hernandez miss.
Hernandez forced into a tough turnaround. He's now 5 of 7. He was not the CUNY Player of the Year, but boy, he had a very good case. That went to Baruch College's Chinechi Ekekubor.
As that high pick and roll.
Taylor was shut off there by Habush. Savage with 4 to shoot. Goes to the floater. The shot goes, but wave it off. Offensive foul.
And that's actually one of the good rules that's happened. I would say a good 15, 20 years ago. On the release, if you took the shot, the basket counted and then the charge. And the way they're calling it now is a much better manners. You should not reward someone for being out of control. Great job of help.
Second foul on Raymond Savage, but he remains on the floor for CSI. Meanwhile, Lehman coach Steve Shulman wants to talk it over, and TJ Tibbs wants an explanation about the block charge call. But a very young coach that appeared like he was just made for this opportunity. Huh, Ray? We're taking over for Tony. Other people that were very vital to his growth, as he talked about, were his assistant coaches. He has an assistant coach on his staff that's a police officer in Wall Township that runs their academics, stays late with the kids in the library. J.C. Albano was his teammate in 2012.
And who also played for me at Baruch.
Yep. Nick Duran is going to be a future head coach from the previous staff. And I mentioned Orrin McCain Jr., the cop, Abraham Akmanmu, that they coached together at Baruch College. He's an athletic director at a middle school, so he truly gives a lot of the credit to his staff that he's assembled that have allowed this process to be a first-year head coach to go smoothly.
Great assistant coaches throughout the conference and historically, both schools, and you have Baruch and Hunter, and you have people like Tamara Farid and Joe Caffarelli. These are people who have always been out there recruiting, and they actually make the head coach look good.
I won't ask how many made you look good for almost 40 years of coaching.
Well, what you do is you listen, and 90% of the time they're right, because you get consumed by the game that you miss specifics and you need to be told something. Very big last minute of the half, last 70 seconds for Lehman to not allow a bigger than 8-point lead.
Taylor, the throwback. Rossiter, instead of popping, will dribble. And his pass intended for Stephen Flagg is deflected. 6 seconds to shoot for the College of Staten Island. And now we'll get a Dolphins timeout.
These are the dedicated timeouts that if they don't use them, they lose them. And smart, you've got 6 seconds, sideline inbounds play. It's an 8-point game, and they understand this is a streaky team, Lehman. And if Lehman gets into a streak, so the greater amount of separation they can get now, the better.
TJ Tibbs with their team being 16-11, you see it, and you can understand that this has been a journey for a first-year head coach. He put together a very challenging non-conference schedule, including losing their exhibition game to Stony Brook, nice way, but then losses to Lebanon Valley by 30 or Sinus. But he thought the one game we did not improve in when we played was their first home game of the year against Stevens. And he thought, frankly, it was an embarrassment. Everybody was just playing their own way. And he points to that as a very nice turning point around the new year. There's
nice
a
inbounds
with 6 seconds to shoot, and the shot, wild one put up by Latunji. Milo Mitchell outside, his pass stolen by Taylor. Christian Taylor got into the lane and picks up a blocking foul.
This is wonderful the way Taylor plays. We talked about in the opening how Tibbs, being a point guard, loves to put the ball in his point guard's hands. He trusts Taylor completely, and Taylor's just playing beautiful on both ends of the court. And we were talking earlier about TJ and how he's evolved. It's his first year as a coach. But Tony Petoza, I asked him today, what made TJ so special? And he says, as a player, he was that one player who's still able to go for the ball, want the ball more, and then when he got the ball, pull it out, that he was able to kind of keep it on the calm. And that's very, very rare.
Final 5 seconds, or I should say 35 seconds, as Hernandez missed the shot. And a chance here with about a second difference between the first half and shot clocks now for the Dolphins as they protect an 8-point lead in the CUNY men's basketball championship game. Taylor to take it down to 10 seconds. Defended by Milo Mitchell. A good look at a three from Latunji. Rattles it in. Final seconds. And CSI has their largest lead of the game right now. It's the biggest halftime deficit this season for the #1 seeded Lightning. CSI leads it by 11 at the half.
And that was a case where they did everything correct, and they played to the scouting report, and they gave the wide open look to Latunji, who is not a three-point shooter, but everything seems to be going well.
Fifth made three for Staten Island. Let's go to Jillian, who has TJ Tibbs.
Coach, coming into this game, Lehman's largest deficit at halftime was 10. You guys are up by 11. How satisfied are you with your team's performance in the first half?
Not satisfied at all. They're one of the most electric offensive teams in the nation. They're very good. They're seniors. They're going to come back. They're going to make a run. Steve is a great coach, but we just got to try to keep doing the good things that we're doing.
You've had 2 tight matches with them earlier in the season, so you know what Lehman is capable of. What is going to be the key for you guys in the second half?
Just to stay composed. They're going to make a run. The last 2 games don't matter. This is a brand new game. Those guys are players. They're going to start to hit shots, but we just got to stay together and stay with the game plan.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me.
It's an 11-point CSI lead at the half. When we return, we'll introduce the CUNY Awards winners this season in basketball. Jillian will have a special guest, and Coach Rankus and I will have first half stats and numbers as we continue on for the CUNY Men's Basketball Championship presented by Army ROTC.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn.
The 2018 CUNY Basketball Championship is presented by Army, ROTC, and in association with Municipal Credit Union, and by the Hospital for Special Surgery, and by Modell's, you've got to go to Moe's, and by Pepsi, and the University Student Senate.
At Lehman College, your dreams turn into aspirations, your motivations into actions. At Lehman, we help you achieve your goals today. Lehman shows you how to transform your hard work and commitment into a smarter and better future for all of us. Together, we inspire each other and empower each other because we believe in dreams. Here, students don't just study cancer, they strive to cure it. They don't just study business, they start their own. They don't just play music, they create it. They don't just live in our community, they change it. Every day, our amazing faculty and students who come from all over the world follow their dreams and create their own Lehman stories. Here at Lehman College, what will your story be?
The College of Staten Island leading Lehman in this CUNY Men's Basketball Championship game by 11. Earlier this month, from the Spectacular Water Club in Manhattan, the CUNYAC Conference hosted the annual Basketball All-Star Luncheon. Let's take a closer look at this year's award winners. Each February, prior to the CUNYAC Men's and Women's Basketball Championships, the conference's all-stars from the season gather at the Spectacular Water Club on Manhattan's East Side. 2018 marks the 53rd year that there's a men's CUNY basketball championship. The players of the year were honored, including Chimechi Ekekubor, a senior from Baruch who became the program's all-time leading scorer earlier this season.
My goal is just to go out there and get some W's, but it does mean a lot to me. It means all the hard work I put in every day with the guys has paid off, and I'll be listed as one of the greats, so it means a lot for my legacy.
On the women's side, rarefied air was achieved as Staten Island senior Christina Passaturo became the two-time CUNY Player of the Year.
It's an honor to repeat, but again, couldn't have done it without coach or my team, because as you pointed out before, like in high school I wasn't like this, so things definitely changed for me in college.
The Community College All-Stars were also honored, including the Hostos Women's Program, which ranks #1 since the middle of December, pursuing an NJCAA National Championship.
We put in a lot of work from our coaching staff, our entire athletic department, and the players in our program. Being recognized as being #1 just shows that, it can happen. It can happen for CUNY. It can happen for Region 15. And we're just proud. We're proud to be able to represent our region that way.
CUNY Commissioner Zach Ivkovich also spoke to the crowd gathered, talking about how balanced the field has ever been.
We're seeing it a lot more on the women's side. Obviously, Hostos being #1 in the country means a lot. On the senior college side, Brooklyn and Staten Island being regionally ranked and getting some national votes with both over 20 wins. So I think that's really where the impact is seen the most. Obviously, we're not forgetting the men, but they're taking a little bit of a backseat in terms of the visibility aspect this year, which is cool because they've enjoyed that for a long stretch. But I think on the women's side, this might be our strongest year yet.
Additionally, in 2018, CCNY Army ROTC Director Dr. Rishi Raj was honored with a special award for his commitment to helping the CUNY student athlete. The luncheon was opened up by the CUNY Vice President for Student Affairs, Christopher Rosa.
I'm humbled by the greatness to which you allow others to aspire. Through your leadership, through your excellence, you make me proud to be in your company. So congratulations on all your accomplishments. It's my honor to be mentioned in your same breath today. Thank you.
The CUNY Athletic Conference is proud of all of their student athletes, and we thank them for their dedication. When we return, Julian will have a special guest as we continue with the break from CCNY.
When I decided to enroll back into school, being a mother, it was hard in getting back into studying. So I went through Math Start instead of having to do the remedial. And I continued into the ASAP program, which has been life-changing for me.
I started in the continuing education program as an ESL student. My interaction with faculty really changed my view on how much education can provide.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn, and guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Welcome back where CSI leads Lehman 39-28 here at the break. I am lucky enough to be joined now by 2 of the presidents. On my right, you can see that we have President of CSI, Dr. William Fritz, and over here, Dr. Jose Cruz of Lehman College, President Jose Cruz of Lehman College. Guys, we were chatting about it before. I got to ask you, Dr. Fritz, I'll start with you. What do you think of the atmosphere here tonight?
Oh, it's outstanding. Such a great school spirit for both teams. It's really exciting entertainment.
Atmosphere is good tonight?
It's wonderful. It's great to see so many of our students, alums, and friends here to celebrate this championship game.
How important is this for your student athletes to get to come out and have an atmosphere and stage like this?
It's the culmination of many years of hard work. We have 10 seniors on our team this year, so we're just excited that they have this opportunity to see all that effort come out in this championship game.
Dr. Fritz, you were telling me about the 30,000 degree program that CSI has launched. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. We've looked at the demographics of Staten Island, and we feel that there's about 30,000 fewer baccalaureate degrees that it would take to attract good jobs. And so we have a partnership with Wagner College and St. John's, Staten Island, to try to get 30,000 more degrees, baccalaureate degrees on the island to civic prosperity.
What makes CSI a great experience for your students?
Oh, I think it's the whole team. We're the only institution of public higher education in the borough. We're an anchor institution. We have unparalleled opportunities for our students and our student athletes.
And Mr. Cruz, you testified earlier this month in front of the Senate committee. I saw it featured on your school's homepage. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we're trying to elevate Lehman College's voice and CUNY's voice in terms of developing equitable practices and policies in federal Higher Education Act to make sure that our students get the benefits and the supports they need to succeed.
What can somebody looking at Lehman expect if they decide to go to school there?
Well, Lehman College has over 90 academic programs. We're number 4 in the country for propelling low-income students to the middle class and beyond. And so it's a very collegial community, 37 acres, tree-lined campus. We welcome our students and we make them successful.
Mr. Cruz, Mr. Fritz, thank you both so much for being here. Highlights and analysis coming up in just a bit.
The service corps, aside from giving students valuable experience working with other people in the city and giving back, when I graduated, I had 3 job offers, and all of this was because of the service corps. It played an incredible role in me getting into law school. The public service nature of CUNY has really fueled my desire to make sure that the life I live and everything I do is geared towards uplifting other people.
If it weren't for CUNY, I probably would have second-guessed my potential. I'm a first generation in terms of going to college, getting a degree. I'm able to provide for my family a lot more, and it's something that I didn't think was originally possible. CUNY is equalizing the playing field for students, particularly students of color, students who are low income, and students who are first generation.
Nobody in my family went to college. Now I not only learned English, I graduated and then I'm teaching English, helping immigrants.
39-28, the defending champion College of Staten Island with the halftime lead over number 1 seeded Lehman in tonight's CUNY men's basketball championship game. Welcome back alongside former Baruch College coach, Hall of Famer Ray Rankus. I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Coach, the first thing that came to our minds was tempo in the first half drastically favored the Dolphins.
The Dolphins just played at their tempo. They ran their high pick and roll actions. One of the keys for them to be effective today is really to spread the court and keep the ball in Taylor's hands. Taylor may only be 2 for 8 in the first half, but he has controlled the tempo, and he's still the key.
Let's have a look at our highlights in the first half. Great start for CSI, but Andrew Utain, 8 points very early.
And Utain and Hernandez have been wonderful. Here's Hernandez hitting a pull-up 3, step-in 3. And between the two of them, they're 8 for 14, and they have 20 of their 28 points. But here's the problem. They're not getting any points from anyone else. And someone has to, and I don't want to say step up, I hate that cliche. Someone has to, make an appearance. And the only way that's going to happen is with ball movement and with defense, which gets them into their transition.
CSI knocked down 5 threes. They're shooting 41%, leaving about 43.
And there we see power moves by Flegg. We saw Taylor getting into the lane easily. And here we see the beautiful lob pass from Savage. And one of the nice things for Staten Island, they're getting good play out of Spencer. And again, beautiful pass by Flegg. Back to Latunji, and Latunji's got 11 points. And one of the wonderful stats that I noticed at halftime, Latunji is 1 for 16 on threes for the season. And now he's 2 for 17.
CSI with the lead. Let's go over to Jillian, who has leading coach Steve Schultz.
Coach, down by 11 at the break. What was your message to the team in the locker room?
Yeah, really that they had to trust each other more. We're forcing a lot of shots. We're a little out of character, and that they got to trust each other, move the ball a little bit more, and share it.
You mentioned being out of character. You guys have had 2 close contests with CSI. What's going to be the key against them here in the second half to come back?
We just got to lay it all on the line, get after it. When we were at their place, we were down 11 and a half. We found a way to put it in the overtime, and then we'll have to do that again.
Coach, thanks for the time.
The 2018 CUNY Basketball Championship is presented by Army ROTC and in association with Municipal Credit Union and by the Hospital for Special Surgery and by Modell's. You've got to go to Mo's. And by Pepsi and the University Student Senate. Staten Island's lead is 11, third meeting of the season between these two teams. And each time Lehman, Coach Rank was able to find a way to push the game late and win it there. The most recent meeting, February the 10th, Lehman came back from behind and they won the game 83-82 on a Luis Hernandez buzzer beater to win it. And then Hernandez was the hero way back on January the 3rd. He had the buzzer beater to tie the game to send it into overtime. That day, the College of Staten Island blew a 16-point lead. So the Lightning have been here before against the Dolphins.
Lehman will need to figure out a frenzied manner to be able to play. And to be quite truthful, they had 1 assist in the first half, and that's not their game. They average 18 assists a game, and they just need to get into a flow, but it'll all come from their defense first.
The Lightning will have the ball first. They have won 14 in a row, looking for the program's second CUNY championship at first since 2004, and they'll go to the free throw line immediately with Andrew Utate on the drive.
They got Utate the ball on the right elbow, and he just turned and went. There was nothing fancy, nothing major design. Go to the basket, get to the rim, and when you're down, that's what you have to do. Get to the rim, force them to foul you, force them to play defense.
Utate is coming in off of a game-high 29 points on 7 of 10 from 3 in the semifinal win over John Jay. He was super.
And once again, 1 for 6 they are from the free throw line, and it's like a creeping away from you by missing the free throws. And they opened up in a press right now, 1-2-2.
CSI is able to break it. Adiola Latunji out to Taylor. Latunji with a baseline drive, puts up and flips up a tough shot over the extended Clinton Akalonu.
They have numbers.
Akalonu, good feed inside, but the layup missed underneath by Marcial.
They need something from Marcial. He's missed a couple of triples just like that.
Here is Edin Bracic, and this is a good sign. He left the game, Ray, with about 6 minutes to go in the first half with what appeared to be a cramping issue. As Rossiter misses the line drive. Luis Hernandez, game-high 12 points in the first half as he leaves the layup short.
What a beautiful move, but he expended so much energy that he could not finish.
Taylor orchestrate the motion offense that TJ Dibbs says that I like to give my players a lot of freedom. Understanding their strengths and weaknesses, but they'll turn it over here. And that'll be Bracic with the turnover. And he claims he was fouled.
That's his second foul. It was a very good call by Doug Abrahamian. He's one of the outstanding officials in the region.
Utate with a good find and one. Well, on cue, Gene Marcial, who averages about 12, has his first field goal.
What a wonderful look by Utate. Staten Island just stopped playing defense below the foul line, and perhaps this might get Marcial going. And they're ready to press again.
He's from the Bronx, but he went all the way upstate to Ulster Community College for the JUCO level. His cousin Willie Vargas played at Lehman back in '06 on a great Steve Shulman team, loves the program, and did Steve Shulman's work for him, essentially being the primary recruiter.
You can always use good players to recruit, always.
Latunji settled into the baseline jumper, and now the Lightning with the best momentum they have had all night.
Even though Staten Island's handling the pressure, they have upped the tempo and forced them to take early shots. My, what a shot by Utate. That's big. Now it's 4 points. 4 points, and now Staten Island has to start thinking.
TJ Tibbs won't let them think. He'll do the talking using a very early timeout of the second half as the Lightning faithful has come to life.
Smart move, TJ. You need to kind of keep your players calm. Lehman is a team with 10 seniors. All their primary players are seniors. Over there on the Staten Island side, we only have a couple of seniors, so you still have players who are still feeling the moment. They were giddy from the first half. You knew that Lehman was going to come out aggressive. They made their shots, and now you need to come out with a good possession to run something for Taylor, to get him coming off a screen or turning the corner to get to the basket.
7-0 start for Lehman coming into the half, and they've knocked down a couple of buckets, including the Utate 3.
Utate's just such a special player. You know, one of the beauties of basketball is you don't all have to look like a Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. You look at Utate, and he's got that big bottom half of his body. You can't get around him if he posts up, and he can shoot. And each year he's come back with something else to his game. And he's got that okey-doke game where if you come running out at him, he'll fake the shot, and he'll come in with the floater. Such a pleasure to watch someone like him play, and evolve.
So the Lightning fans that have made the trek here from the Bronx and from their campus, they've all been very loud throughout, but now the Lightning have given them something to cheer about. And they rise again, chanting defense, trying to help the Lightning capture their first title since 2004. Flag denied as he took on Akolonu.
And similar to what Lehman did, they just got the ball to Flag at the elbow and said, go. And he did, and unfortunately he had to go to more than one player. Bodies flying on that play. I thought Roddy Piper was going to come streaking in.
TJ Tibbs noticing that ball was last touched by Lehman. He's going to start his players from half court.
4 players all charging in from half court. He scored a basket early against.
And it works to a 3 for Edin Bracic.
They did that the first inbounds play against Baruch in the semifinals, and everybody was confused, fans included.
New tape steps back, perhaps a bit ambitious. Offensive rebound lost inside by Marcial. Adiola Latunji nearly got a spectacular finish.
He went from mid-court to the rim in like a second and a half. It was more like Usain Bolt than Latunji. And Latunji is just one of those special players that the coaches love to work with, game in and game out, because he's got a great motor, as we just witnessed here.
73%, 6th in the conference this year, but the broadcaster jinx is put on. And the versatility of his defense, and he had an explosive 25 points in the tight loss at Lehman earlier this season, as he gets 1 of 2.
And now we see what a wonderful timeout that was. Beautiful backdoor play by Hernandez. But what a prescient timeout by Tibbs to just kind of calm his team down.
14 points for Luis Hernandez. Stephen Flag turned down the mid-range jumper. Rob Rossiter will take the 3.
Wow, he's usually a pick and pop guy. They ran something for him as he filled the top of the key. That's where he likes his shots. Horrible play by Milo.
Mitchell turned it over. Taylor leads the break into a 3-on-3. He switches to his right hand.
Oh my, I wish there were some older players watching. There used to be a player by the name of Jim Barnett who was just a long, lean point guard that could get to the line like that. And he does the color for Golden State Warriors now.
Timeout Lehman. CSI has responded right back with a run of their own.
At Lehman College, your dreams turn into aspirations, your motivations into actions. At Lehman, we help you achieve your goals today. Lehman shows you how to transform your hard work and commitment into a smarter and better future for all of us. Together, we inspire each other and empower each other because we believe in dreams. Here, students don't just study cancer, they strive to cure it. They don't just study business, they start their own. They don't just play music, they create it. They don't just live in our community, they change it. Every day, our amazing faculty and students who come from all over the world follow their dreams and create their own Lehman stories. Here at Lehman College, what will your story be?
It's a 9-2 response by CSI for the CUNY Men's Basketball Championship game. Vance CUNY has an exciting event coming up on March 17th through the 18th. The Wheelchair Basketball Classic will take place at LaGuardia Community College. And it'll take place with the outstanding New York Rolling Nick wheelchair Olympic gold medalist Patrick Anderson. So, fun basketball to continue in March representing the CUNY. Luis Hernandez out of the timeout, got to his left hand.
Beautiful. They defended the initial action so well. And Eddie was perfectly on him, Bracic, but Hernandez puts it on the floor.
Taylor, here comes the trap. Rob Rossiter continues his spectacular night. 13 points to lead the Dolphins. He comes off of an 0 for 1 with no points against Baruch in the semifinals.
And there's something in Steve Schulman's mind must be going right now. Who is this guy? Because he's shooting these shots contested.
Hernandez thought about the deep one, out to Tate in rhythm for three.
Great patience, because once you fall behind, you want to be rush, and they're trying to exhale, inhale, exhale again, just to kind of get that rhythm back, to get their mojo back. And now we've got ourselves a basketball game, a real good Division III college basketball game.
Taylor making a switch. Off it went to Flag, forcing that three up.
That was an afterthought.
Ute will try the corner and rattles it in. Lehman right back within 6.
Ute is coming to play. Secondary break, open, hits the three.
On this super Lehman shooting team, he shoots it from 42% from beyond the arc. Flag now commits the charge.
And the last 2 possessions, Flag has been trying to do a little bit too much. He has to kind of remember that it's part of the team. We see there, right there, both times, Ute, quick release, jump shot, playing to the crowd, because he understands these are momentum plays. Bren's back in the game.
Ute with a heat check, this time from straight on. It's like the All-Star Game 3-point shooting contest. One from each side of the court. He's got 21.
And a great set by Steve Schulman. He doesn't run a lot of sets, but he got the ball to his best player, who is hot, and who made the shots.
Taylor took a long 2. And the rebound fell to Latunji.
And that's a theme that we really didn't address during the first half, is Staten Island, who's not really a good rebounding team, out-rebounded Lehman by 9 rebounds thus far. And this is something that is part of Lehman's makeup. They like to crash the boards, and right now Staten Island's beating them at their own game.
Adiola Latunji. Two-time CUNY player and rookie of the week. He was in the conversation to capture the title, but he was named second team all-conference instead.
And isn't he a beautiful player to watch? Just the way he moves on the court and so fluid.
Fluid on both free throws.
A babyface assassin. I love it.
Lehman has shot 7 of 10 in the second half. Now they free up Milo Mitchell for 3. And this will be going the other way against Lehman.
And that, what Staten Island's doing right now defensively is confounding Lehman. They are totally playing off of Brenz. They are inviting him to shoot. Be a man, be a player. But that's not his game. He's a pass-first player. And because no one's covering him, it congests the entire lane. But they're able to defend that 3.
And when Brenz is in the game, Steve Schulman, as he explained, that moves Milo Mitchell to a 2-guard position to give Mitchell a chance to get going and hot.
And I think Steve saw the exact same thing because he took Brenz out.
Taylor with a pick and pop. Jade Spencer back to Christian Taylor. Mitchell will organize and regroup to run some offense. This season, Lehman has had an incredible 4 players score 24 or more in a game, as Tate missed a 3 and another loose ball foul against the Lightning.
And once again, they ran the exact same action for UTATE. UTATE was wide open, clean look, clean release. This time it did not go in. It's a 5-point margin, very special game. It can go any way right now. And I'm surprised Lehman's not pressing anymore.
Taylor again meant to switch with the post Akalanu as he steps back into an impressive jumper.
Wasn't that pretty? He did an okey-doke, an old Doc Rivers move into the crossover and step back. And he makes an easy jump shot when he gets the switch.
And they'll get Akalanu for another over the back. And that's 3 consecutive possessions with fouls against Lehman. That appeared like it would hurt them in the first half, and it did. They were in the bonus midway through. And maybe something Steve Shulman will address, and he will spend a Lehman timeout now.
Once again, Steve's calling a timeout. I wonder if he's going to look to go to the press off the make, but he's really making an adjustment because on that last possession, they ran the pick and roll, the point and the big, or the 1-5 high screen and roll, and they got the switch. Taylor was very patient. He got the matchup, showed the in and out dribble, step back, wide open 3. And Akanalo really can't handle someone of that, on the perimeter. Near the rim, great rim protector.
Fans of the CUNY Athletic Conference also remind you that the Students First Rewards program is now open. You can win free tuition for a year. Check them out at CUNYathletics.com by searching the CUNYAC Inclusive Sports Initiative. Mentioning Steve Shulman, I always joke with him, and certainly what a great career he has had. He's now in his 18th year at Lehman. Came over after spending 6 years as the top assistant at Binghamton while the program transitioned to the Division I level and had a good run. Spent time at Division III power Elizabethtown, but he is a Syracuse guy. He was there when Derek Coleman was playing, and his dream was to potentially coach the Orange someday, but we know Jim Mahon is probably not retiring any day soon. As Taylor missed, Jade Spencer is going back to the line for the Dolphins.
Spencer gave some valuable minutes in the semifinal game against Baruch. He found easy baskets, and he's looking to do the exact same thing. But this all stems from Taylor penetrating. We had that opening tease with Taylor for Staten Island, for Hernandez for Lehman, and the defenses are playing accordingly. They are making it so difficult for them to make it to the basket. They have to go backdoor and then find their opportunities as a result.
See the balanced numbers on Jade Spencer, who's played as about the 7th man this year for the Dolphins, but TJ Tibbs has said, I am harder on him than anybody else in the program because of his potential. Hernandez got the backdoor cut, and he's going back to the line.
That was a ridiculously athletic play by Hernandez. If we get back to that replay, he makes the cut to the basket off the backdoor cut, a perfect pass thrown to the defenders behind, and then somehow he's able to adjust his body in midair to be able to avoid the charge.
Luis Hernandez, second trip to the free throw line after he missed his first one tonight.
And once again, if you allow a shooter to get to the free throw line, to get into a rhythm, all those next possessions just feel so much more comfortable. The mind over matter stuff, but my bad. He missed the second.
2 missed free throws for Luis Hernandez. Lehman has cost themselves dearly at the line tonight, as they are now 4
and they're going zone.
And inside, Latunji is fouled as he grabbed the miss.
Interest.
56-49 with a timeout on the floor. Let's join Jillian again with a special guest.
This Sunday, we have the CUNY Track and Field Championship, so I had to hunt down some of our CUNY track and field athletes, Hakeem and Amy. Hakeem from Lehman and Amy from CCNY, if you can't tell. Hakeem, what can we expect on Sunday, and what are some of your goals?
Some big PRs, come out, compete, get some records down off the school. Make sure we get the championship.
That's what you guys are going for.
Yeah.
What do you think of this game so far? How's Lehman doing?
We're doing good, but we can do better.
a little bit better. And Amy, you told me all my events are my favorite. Tell me a little bit about what you're going for on Sunday.
Okay, so this Sunday I'll be competing in the triple jump, long jump, the throw-in, weight throw, and the shot. Basically, I'm a main jumper, but I've been throwing so far, and I've enjoyed like every moment of it. And I'm definitely there to win, but also make a PR.
PR, I love it. Both you guys going for that. Well, you can check that out on Sunday up at the Armory on 168th Street. Guys, thanks for being here and good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you, Jillian. Great stories there from those Lehman College athletes. It's a celebration not just about basketball, but many different student athletes here in attendance from both sides. From Lehman, from CSI, I see the baseball teams out in full force and bringing a lot of tremendous energy and rooting on their fellow student athletes. They're trying to win a championship. The Dolphins trying to make it 2 in a row, and they have been a terrific program. Has been to 11 NCAAs. They've won the tournament title 14 times here in CUNY, more than anybody else. Lehman just looking for their second as Adeola Latunji is up to 15 points. A terrific student with a 3.5 GPA. Ray, this slasher would like to become a podiatrist someday.
God bless him. We all need better podiatrists. I shouldn't say that. My best friend's a podiatrist.
58-49 after the makes. And CSI has led virtually the entire game. Last lead that Lehman had was at 10-9. But as I touched on earlier in the January 3rd regular season meeting, CSI led by 16, and Lehman stunned them in overtime. And we have a foul on the floor. And this is Adeola Latunji picking up number 2.
And on the next foul, we will be one-on-one going both ways.
Akalanu, as he got the ball back, he was in great position, and he's called for traveling.
Wonderful, wonderful defensive player, limited offensively. And he's just one of those players where you want to make sure that he gets the ball 2 feet from the basket, not 6 feet from the basket.
That's Lehman's 11th turnover. They average only 16, and that is 3rd in the league. But the Lightning have still not had that big spurt. They flirted with that big run that they've been known for. The offense that's scoring over 84 points a night. Staten Island right behind them at 77, second in the conference. Raymond Savage on the floor for the first time in the second half. Gave it up nicely, but then Latunji was denied by the side of the backboard. Hernandez thought about it, and he picked up his pivot foot, and he's called for shuffling the feet.
Very frustrating for him because he's so used to shooting off the catch, off the dribble into it, and when he saw that he was open, I think that surprised him more than anything else.
Staten Island shooting has plummeted down to 38%. Lehman up to 46%. But look at the lead. The turnovers, as you see there, number 12, being a problem, as well as all the missed free throws by Lehman tonight. Rob Rossiter, and his shooting has been a big difference tonight. Rossiter with 16 points after not scoring in the semifinal. He's knocked down 4 threes.
Once again, Rossiter, once again, quick shot.
Hernandez then blocked by Spencer.
Spencer had 7 blocked shots against Brooklyn the first game. He was really coming into his own defensively and soon offensively.
Staten Island matching their largest lead now at 12, and they'll keep the ball following a tie-up.
There we go, penetration kick, and Rossiter, even though he's being contested hard, he doesn't care. He's shooting, he's in the zone.
Played at Xaverian under the great Jack Alisi, and he spent his freshman year at Division III Ursinus, wanted to come back home to New York. Spencer missed The scoop layup. But CSI able to corral the miss.
Once again, another offensive rebound. That's 13 offensive rebounds for Staten Island.
Taylor probes. Another offensive rebound. And they'll call it over the back against Spencer.
This is very big for Lehman because this is a very dangerous time. They're down 12, 10 minutes, just under 10 left. And they need some way to find points. Because once again, Ute is brilliant, and yet he's not getting the touches that he needs. They're not getting much out of Myra Mitchell, and Hernandez is getting a little frustrated. I think that this comes to the point where we had the opening tees where Hernandez must be ready to take over.
This is Jean Martial, the over the back. Sets up a 1-and-1. And Martial at 60% makes the first. He plays the 4 position for this undersized Lehman team at 6'3". I touched on in the beginning, Ray. You won't see a lot of post players in this one. Both teams undersized. And both teams not the best rebounding teams. They have to rebound collectively.
And they wanted to be in the press. Martial forgot his assignment, and here they come. They've broken it easily. Will they bring it out, or will they go at it?
Instead, Latunji is tied up. The block shot by Ute.
Maybe they should have brought it out. It's something that they have to be very careful about. They do not want to get into an up-and-down game with Lehman.
CSI has the overwhelming rebounding advantage, especially on the offensive glass. Ray, where that number is 13-3 Dolphins. Ute missed the lefty layup. Hernandez across the lane and one.
What a special play. He came in for the rebound off the nice action, and he was able to control his body, reverse pivot, extend, hang, finish. And now with a made free throw, he can cut it to 7. Every time Staten Island thinks that they're going to be able to extend, Lehman is showing the mettle.
In 2 years at Niagara Community College, Luis Hernandez was on a deep team, only started 7 games, averaged 4 points as a sophomore after about 7 as a freshman. But since he's come to Lehman, he's been a primetime performer. He has 20 points tonight to lead all scorers. And Ute will knock that ball down, and TJ Tibbs shows us he still has some good lift despite the dress shoes.
He's a great player. And what a wonderful play by Ute, because that was a 2-on-1 fast break, easy layup for Staten Island. Now they have to go 5-on-5.
There's a 5 count. Don't check that, it'll be a timeout, CSI. So they'll keep the possession with their lead being trimmed to 7. With still so much time left tonight. The winner off to the NCAA tournament, and the Dolphins were there. They lost at Swarthmore in the first round. Lehman was there in 2004, losing the first round. But this is a bunch that has been thinking about getting back to this night for an entire calendar year. As we see the balanced scoring this evening for CSI, and that does not include Christian Taylor, who is approaching double figures with 9.
They are reflective of Tibbs' personality. They play hard, they play aggressive, and they're not scared.
This time Flagg gets it into Rossiter. Savage, great denial defense by Mitchell on Taylor, and then Spencer had to take it to the rim and is bailed out by the foul call.
Excellent defense on that end, and Spencer was able to just find himself with the ball and said, okay, let me go to the basket. And it's a smart play because they really had nothing at that point.
Jade Spencer comes to Staten Island across the bridge. Tilden High School in Brooklyn. And off on the first, a 57% free throw shooter. Had a very good senior year at 6'4", playing there in the PSALB division, the smaller schools.
Old-time basketball. Is it a good foul? Is a bad foul? If he makes both free throws, it's a bad foul. If it's a good foul, if he misses both, that's somewhere in between. And I think Lehman will live with that.
John Brenz back in the game for Lehman to run the point. Brenz again, they dare him to shoot, and he almost knocked it down, but a foul on the floor. John Brenz is 4 of 18, 22% from 3.
And it's interesting who they have covering Brenz, or supposedly covering Brenz. You have Spencer, who's their best shot blocker, and he is not leaving the 3-second lane. Brenz had a time to check his pocket watch if he had one, and then take the shot.
And Hernandez misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Luis Hernandez, 3 missed free throws tonight. Lehman just 7 of 14 at the stripe. A team that shoots it at 72%, number 2 in the conference. On the baseline drive, Stephen Flagg got to the rim.
Beautiful play by Flagg, crossover, aggressive, fearless.
Mitchell challenged as he went to the finger roll.
And once again, there was Spencer. He's not covering anyone, and he's able to help out and alter and block shots.
Flag defended by Hernandez, and he'll pick up the hand-checking call. More free throws coming for the Dolphins, and they have made the Lightning pay. CSI before this free throw is 13 out of 18.
That's such a big difference, and Fly was very fortunate. He cleared space, and he did catch Hernandez in the face, but Hernandez was not able to maintain his cool, and he rode him, and the officials had to call what they did see.
Flag out of Grady High School in Brooklyn. Traditional high school power. Spent his freshman year at Mohawk Valley Community College near Albany. Before being a nice bench player last year, stepped into the starting lineup for this new-look Dolphins team that is right back where they were a year ago in the CUNY final. Brenz the dribble handoff. Hernandez trying to turn the corner. Savage all over him. And look at the foul as Raymond Savage picks up another personal.
Beautiful play, beautiful help. But this is one of the problems that Lehman has now. Shulman has a very hard decision to make. With Brenz in the game, he is not being covered, and they're putting the biggest shot blocker to control everything in the middle.
The service corps, aside from giving students valuable experience working with other people in the city and giving back, when I graduated, I had 3 job offers, and all of this was because of the service corps. It played an incredible role in me getting into law school. The public service nature of CUNY has really fueled my desire to make sure that the life I live and everything I do is geared towards uplifting other people.
The College of Staten Island Dolphins with a 12-point lead, matching their largest of the night. Under first-year head coach T.J. Tibbs, trying to add to this great program's lore, where they've gone further than no other CUNY program has gone in the NCAA tournament. In Coach Tibbs' senior year in 2012, they reached the NCAA Sweet 16. They're in the CUNY Tournament Championship once again. They've won it 14 times. They had a run of 3 in a row in finals appearances from 12, 13, and 14. And new leadership, but they have found a way playing their best basketball in February. So Luis Hernandez, he'll shoot 2, an astonishing 2 of 5 at the line for the league's #1 free throw shooter, 84%.
And we're at a point in the game where everything is 2 free throws, every possession's big, every 50-50 play is big. And this is a moment with under 8 left where Lehman has to find It needs to play stronger and better.
And Hernandez just shrugged his shoulders after he missed another free throw. More free throws coming for Flagg with Ute picking up the foul. This one may be settled largely at the free throw line for the final 7.5.
They're very smart. They're looking to run and get the ball to Flagg at the elbow and just tell him go. They've simplified their offense, understanding that Taylor is getting a little bit tired and they need to be able to find offense elsewhere.
And Ray, that was also the 4th foul on Andrew Ute.
Big, very smart coaching on the part of Tibbs.
Mitchell forced the issue, and he'll get himself to the free throw line, where he is 68%. And just the second on Christian Taylor. Milo Mitchell came upstate originally from Miami up to Davis College. That's a Division III independent. Not many of those around. And he played there for a year, and Steve Shulman had some Central New York connections, and he was an assistant at Binghamton, and that led him to make contact with Mitchell during the transfer process. Another split pair for Lehman. The isolation for Flagg, leaving it for Rossiter. And the CSI student section wanted to explode. Ute stepping back, and the pull-up from the free throw line went in and out.
And very close to picking up his 5th foul. This is a very large theme right now in the game because they're getting the ball to Flagg and having him attack Ute every time.
Gene Marcial also with 4 fouls for Lehman, 4 fouls for Raymond Savage for CSI. Rossiter now taking the ball to the rim. Knocked around, Hernandez ripping it away, and he was fouled prior to potential walk. So Luis Hernandez will try to solve his issues at the free throw line again.
Will he solve those problems? Because these are easy points. Lehman is struggling to score, and he gets into the rhythm. And you're looking at the faces of the Lehman players. There's some self-doubt, which you've not seen all season. They're 22-4. 22-4 teams rarely have that look in their face.
And a team that has won 14 games in a row. And Hernandez, again, you saw him talking to himself at the free throw line. This is just not like him, but Ray, as you and I said, it's a different stage. It's a championship game in front of a large crowd. And players that have not played it in this environment before.
And it's something that you have to have either a resolve or some sort of reserve. And a second miss.
Luis Hernandez, 3 of 9 at the free throw line.
They've gone zone again. 1-2-2 zone.
And that 84% you see there, tops in the conference. And he's been talking to himself the line the last couple trips. Rossiter from the elbow. Can Lehman put together one of their runs that they've been known for this season? Mitchell pulling up and line driving a 3.
Wow, wow. Off the catch, elevates. Brilliant shot. And now we've got an 8-point game, 5.5 left. And they're still in the zone. They're getting Staten Island out of their rhythm. Now all they have to do is make sure they rebound.
Rossiter has been the zone buster. Savage will swing it. Taylor sees the opening. Shooting around Apollodu. Tough shot, Christian Taylor.
Beautiful. Off balance. Hooked on the leg.
Hernandez responds with an and one.
Oh, baby. This is Division III basketball at its best. Back and forth, and both teams are showing some fortitude. It's a pleasure to watch, and the fans are getting their money's worth.
Hernandez back to the line, and he's going to take a few extra seconds here because Rob Rossiter just fouled out with 16 points.
That was a case where they were trying to get Rossiter out of the game, but because it was a transition play, he just happened to find himself at the wrong spot at the wrong time. And down the stretch, they will really miss Rossiter because he's got a high basketball IQ and a great free throw shooter.
Will Hernandez go back to being a great free throw shooter? He does there. Rossiter finished with 16 points, knocking down 4 threes. Against the 1-2-2 trap, as Taylor will go over the top to Latunji. 5 minutes to go in the CUNY Men's Basketball Championship game. The Dolphins try to go back-to-back and add a 15th title to the program's remarkable history. Lehman just looking for their second and first since 04. Hernandez off the steal as he races ahead to the rim.
Such athleticism, and what a gutsy call on the part of Shulman.
And now the ball thrown away by Spencer, out of bounds.
Steal, Hernandez, athleticism, finish, everyone chasing him, no one can catch him, and here they have a chance to cut it to a one-possession game.
Hernandez met on the catch by Savage. He'll pull up. He was fouled while attempting a three. And that's 5 on Raymond Savage.
A lot of hard decisions to make with TJ. He's got players who are going to be playing that are not used to playing down the stretch. And with Staten Island having to face that Lehman pressure, Rossiter was the release man. Then when Rossiter came out of the game, Savage was the release man in the middle. Who will be there to make the intelligent decisions, and will they attack? They must attack. They've become too controlled, and now Lehman's back in the game. Look at that line, even with the bad free throws. 26 points, 9 rebounds. Savage is upset right now, and he has right to be. When Hernandez cleared the space, there was some contact, but Savage should have maintained his cool.
Raymond Savage still barking, a tough, scrappy player that had a tough career, tore his ACL in high school, was able to restart his career as Hernandez makes a pair. He's gotten to the line a ton tonight. 2 out of 3, Mitchell pulling out the miss.
They fell asleep, Staten Island. They're so used to him making the first 2 free throws and being a good free throw shooter. No one boxed out. Criminal act.
Sounding like a coach that did it for 40 years. Hernandez got his man in the air. Now accelerates to the rim. Acolano on the follow. And he is fouled.
Wonderful play by Hernandez. Originally, he faked the 3, penetrated, contested. Now he's trying to get the crowd there. Watch him penetrate. Without the Aklu comes in, gets the rebound, gets the second rebound, gets fouled. Now we have to see if he makes a free throw.
And this is not the strong point of Quentin Acolano's game. 62% in very limited attempts. He's out of DeWitt Clinton High School, which is next door to the Lehman College campus in the Bronx.
And which is where I went to school, and I also happened to go to Lehman College. I have to do full disclosure.
Acolano looks really good there. 2-point game. Lehman trying to come from behind to the Dolphins from a double-digit second-half deficit for the second time this season.
And they're staying in the zone. It's taken Staten Island out of their rhythm.
And in Brocic, the skip past the flag, read well and stolen. Here's Gene Marcial, and we are tied at 69.
3:45 left. Does he wait for the media timeout, or does he save the timeout himself? They're staying in the zone, and they've lost 2 of their shooters to fouls.
Good extra pass out to Flag. Offensive rebound, Spencer. It's Taylor off the scramble, hitting a 3.
What a big shot. Big offensive rebound, Spencer. And then you have our opening tees. We got Taylor, we got Hernandez. This is good basketball. Fun.
Hernandez now defended by the league's top defender, Edin Bracic. He got Bracic in the air. Under 3 minutes to go. Lehman with Mitchell to the basket. Flag securing for this undersized Dolphins team. As Taylor catches his breath and organizes.
Both teams need to stay patient. Stay patient defensively, Lehman. Stay patient offensively. You're getting good actions. Just be ready to finish.
Flag with 2 to shoot. It's turned over. This is the under 4 media timeout. 72-69 CSI. What a finish when we come back. The 2018 CUNY Basketball Championship is presented by Army ROTC and in association with Municipal Credit Union and by the Hospital for Special Surgery and by Modell's. You've got to go to Mo's. And by Pepsi and the University Student Senate. There's the fathead of Luis Hernandez. He has put up 28 points despite struggling mightily at the free throw line, but he has single-handedly willed Lehman back into the game after they looked down and out midway through the second half.
He's a great player. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're 8 for 17 on threes. In the first half, only 1 assist, now 7 assists. They're in a rhythm. How do you score? Stand down. How do you stop? Play it the same way. Keep you Tate and Hernandez from hurting you. Great denial.
Tate comes off the screen. A reset with senior Milo Mitchell. A remarkable 10 seniors on this Lehman team. One of the oldest teams in the country. Hoping to extend their careers into the NCAA tournament. A reset with Hernandez with 5 to shoot, with 3, over Bracic. It's tipped around, recovered by Spencer.
What great defense by Bracic. He did not give an inch to the ground. He stayed down, and he stayed between him and the basket, which is almost impossible.
The pull-up from Latunji.
Early in the shot clock.
It's Tate in the low post. As he draws the double, Hernandez frees himself of Bracic. And a big miss there with the rebound secured by CSI as we'll go under 1 minute in the CUNY Men's Basketball Championship game.
Well, they are still staying in a zone, and we got a foul.
It'll be Adiola Latunji returning to the free throw line. Staten Island, new coach, graduating remarkable players. 4-year starting point guard Frankie Schettino. They had a second-team all-conference player not return. 2 other seniors left. And as TJ Tibbs said in his first meeting with this bunch, I'm not interested in rebuilding. We have a very high standard. And after a difficult and rigorous non-conference schedule, They went 12-4 in league play with a couple of heartbreaking losses to this #1 seeded Lehman team. As Latunji makes a big pair of free throws to extend it to 5.
They were the preseason #5 seed, Staten Island, and all season long they play with a chip on the shoulder. Can they finish?
Mitchell gave up the dribble. Mutate searches. Mutate steps back.
Wow! What a gutsy play. Well defended. Here's the pressure.
A 2-point game.
8-second differential. Will they foul?
Lehman will play it out for a couple more seconds.
And they're confused defensively.
They might play it out the rest of the way. 6 to shoot, Latunji. And there's the foul. Lehman was not trying to foul with only 5 seconds to shoot.
As we see on the replay, Christian Taylor is riding him. And these are, again, big free throws.
Latunji has made 3 huge free throws in the final minute.
And it's a 2-possession game if he makes this next one.
13 seconds for Lehman. Mitchell pushing. Mitchell trying to get the quick, easy 2. He does! And the foul! Milo Mitchell. It took less than 5 seconds.
Did they want foul? No. And here's the choice for Lehman.
Timeout Lehman before the free throw. Milo Mitchell getting to the basket with 8.6. Well, Coach Rankus, I'll ask you to put your coaching hat back on. Is this a situation where you may look for an intentional miss or trying to cut it to 1 and reset everything, replay the fouling game?
Old school basketball is you make the miss and you have the player on the right come across and screen the defender on the left to free one person. But because they only have 2 people on the line, it's very hard. It's the job of Staten Island to match up with everyone regardless of where they're standing. The choice for Steve right now is, do I miss and then we foul, or do we try to make the free throw, try to get a quick steal, make the foul, stop the foul? We're only down 1. At worst, we're going to be down 3, and we can still push the ball up the court and have 7 seconds left. All these thoughts are going through his head. Hopefully he's got an intelligent assistant coach to tell him what to do.
And that is the final timeout, also called by the Lightning. CSI has 1 remaining, and the valuable possession arrow belongs to Staten Island. So it will be senior Milo Mitchell. Will he shoot to make? Will he go for an intentional miss? Remember, Staten Island is very undersized this season. Their tallest player, Jade Spencer, at 6'4". They don't have what you call a true rebounder. Mitchell at 68%. He'll shoot 1 free throw following the and 1. And a warning has been given at the free throw line to Staten Island's Edin Bracic about something.
He was yammering.
Mitchell, after the long delay, collects his thoughts. He was shooting to make, and he missed it. And then the Lehman foul.
And that's exactly what you had to do, but that was the wrong thing. They had someone ready to come in to sub in for him because he's got the foul trouble himself. Now they have to really hope for 1 miss out of 2.
Once again, it's Adeola Latunji, who's been super at the line tonight. He's 11 out of 12. He came in at 73%. But the first of two is off.
And now, whatever happens, will Staten Island foul? If he makes the next one, will they foul to not allow a three?
He misses both. Here's the chance for Hernandez. Hernandez ahead, looking for the tie, and he was fouled. The conference's best free throw shooter will try to tie it up again.
We had a situation where Hernandez tied the game, sent it into overtime early in the season. The next game, he hits the basket to win it, and here he is at the line.
It's no good. The loose ball rebounded by Adiola Latunji with just .7 showing. Luis Hernandez all night has had an inconsistent evening at the line. He misses the potential game tire.
One of the things that we come to watch games and appreciate games is to see teams and players win the game. Staten Island won the game. I really feel for Hernandez, as great as he's played, he will remember these free throws.
Adiola Latunji making the first with .7. You may want to consider missing this one, as Staten Island will spend their final timeout. 77-75, the Dolphins at 16 and 11. They got through a gauntlet of a November and December schedule, and they have staved off the Lightning. And now they look for the closeout. Ray, you're in this case, if you're coaching, is this an automatic miss?
Ralph, you should be coaching yourself. It is a miss. You put two big guys in the lane, tell them to get their hands up, don't touch anybody, because they've got to catch, collect, throw. 7/10 of a second, you don't have it. If he makes it, they obviously have a last second play where they can maybe get a heave from midcourt.
Sophomore Adiola Latunji going to classes at Albany last year, now trying to seal a CUNY championship. Trying to provide TJ Tibbs a title. He missed it. The heave. It would not have counted. CSI goes back-to-back with a brand new group. The Dolphins are the king of CUNY again.
Look at the crowd, look at Staten Island, so appreciative. They've got the great assistant coaches, the great head coach. We had a number 5 preseason seed playing with a chip on their shoulder all season. They had 2 of their better players foul out. They found the rectitude, the fortitude, and they just played to their coach's personality. They've got a special coach. It was almost like they did not lose anything with Tony Patosi's retirement. And on the same end, we are watching the Lehman College players as they're walking off the court, a senior-laden team. They're going to be going home, having their bowl of cereal, and just not being happy. And I'd like to say that TJ's going to be going home to have a beer, but I know he doesn't drink. So he maybe have a double Sprite.
Big hugs going around. The Dolphins, perhaps an unlikely champion, and they spoil the long-awaited dreams and hopes of 10 Lehman seniors. They toppled the #1 seed. They nearly led wire to wire, and they got through some very turbulent moments.
And here's the fickle nature of basketball. The opening round game, they played against Brooklyn. Brooklyn is not a good team. I apologize to Bruce Close, the athletic director, right away. Yet Brooklyn was up by 10 with 7 minutes left, up by 2 with 20 seconds left, and Bracic hits a 3. And look at all the fans, and look at the team members coming and wanting to share in this wonderful, wonderful moment of all basketball. It's a special feeling, and yet it's a net zero situation. You just look at Lehman and how spent emotionally and psychologically and spiritually.
DJ Tibbs just went over to the baseball team, gave them a little fake crossover dribble. He's a champion again, but this time as a head coach. The Dolphins able to go back-to-back in CUNY with an entirely new bunch, a new personality. And somehow a championship program just found a way to put it together at the right time. They go back-to-back and win their remarkable 4th CUNY championship in the last 7 years and 15th overall. 2 players fouled out, but they held a proficient Lehman offense that was scoring 84 points a night. They held them to 75, and they prevented them from putting together that huge run. Lehman was 14 out of 29 at the stripe. And those constant issues in the first half eventually came back to bite them.
And here's the hard part for Lehman is that they will be second guessing everything. We're looking at the stat sheets here, and everything with the exception of rebounds and free throw percentage is even. But rebounds, 13 more rebounds, with 14 offensive rebounds, 6 by Jade Spencer, and then also they're 21 for 30 versus 14 for 29. Right there is 7-point difference in free throws alone.
And great balance tonight from CSI, Ray. 4 players in double figures. Even Edin Bracic, who only played 20 minutes. Remember the cramping issue that he had early that seemed to limit him, but he came back and played phenomenal one-on-one defense very late down the stretch, especially on Luis Hernandez when he was given that assignment.
Hernandez has 29 points, and yet Bracic still did a great job of defending him. Hernandez is one of those one-in-a-lifetime player for Schulman, and what's going to happen is they're going to have to regroup, but right this moment, it is one of the more hollow feelings of getting those second-place awards.
Ray, you've been there as a coach on both sides of it. It's that close of a margin for error. What does a coach say on this losing end if you're Steve Schulman, particularly when you have the finality of 10 seniors that have had this date marked on their calendar for so long after they lost on a buzzer beater to CCNY last year in the semis?
The hardest part is you got to be a man. And you go in there and you keep your head up and you talk to them and tell them that this does not define you as people, does not define your season. And sometimes the better team does not win, sometimes the better team does win. But you as a coach yourself, you are in such pain, and he will be questioning dozens of decisions before he finally is able to fall asleep tonight after a beer or whatever will calm him down tonight. He's a brilliant coach, a great coach, but he's going to talk about defense. Should we have done this? Should I have gone to this player more? Why didn't I do this? And this is the nature of sports.
And Lehman's been there many times. This year was their 8th regular season championship. But prior to this year, they had lost in 4 straight CUNY semifinals in 6 of the last 7 years. They had been right there knocking on the door to break through and win the title. They've had several teams, Ray, that were good enough to win the championship.
We're watching this now, and there is not a single smile on the face. You see the athletic director who has such high hopes. You have the great coaching staff, and then you got players that were just brilliant. Utate and Hernandez, they played games for the ages. Clutch shots kept them in the game, down back into the game. And then when they had a chance, they still had a chance to tie the game. And sometimes it just does not happen.
Seeing the final numbers, CSI undersized but out-rebounding Lehman. They hold Lehman to 45%, and they squeeze this one out at the end. Let's go to Jillian. She's got TJ Tibbs and the entire outstanding coaching staff that TJ was so high on.
Coach, I saw they had you up on their shoulders there before. Can you describe the emotions?
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights. Last time I went to Great Adventure, I got stuck on a ride, and that just reminded me of them, so I'm going to kill the baseball players. But this is what CSI is about. It's family. We have a lot of athletes over there, and there's no mistake why we had a lot of energy. They had a lot to do with it.
As games have gotten bigger, CSI has been able to respond. Quarterfinals, 1-point game, down to the wire tonight. Why is that?
Adam Brocic, Stephen Flagg, Rob Rossiter, Ray Savage, our leaders. I've said it before, we've grown and we've matured, and these guys really wanted it. We know we wanted a championship, and that was a hard-fought game. That's a tremendous team. Came right down to the end like the other games, and we were just fortunate to get a victory.
You took over this season for longtime head coach Tony Petosa, your old head coach. To be able to repeat with you at the helm, what does it mean?
This is guy Coach Petosa's fingerprints over this. This one goes out to Eddie Buttle. He's a longtime guy who worked at CSI, who passed away this year. This one's for him. And Coach Petosa is great, but I like these guys right here. They had everything to do with this. I just stand there and yell and look crazy. And but these guys are the reason why we were able to make it.
And on a final note, you were part of a historic CSI team that went all the way to the Sweet 16. What is your message now to your team as they embark also on the NCAA tournament?
Get some rest, get healthy, enjoy the moment, live in the moment. Monday we'll find out who we play, and we're right back into Monday in practice.
Thank you guys, congratulations. Thank you.
TJ Tibbs, what a class act display. As he said, he loves his assistant coaches because of all the time that they put in, especially devoted alumni, or this is Division III where you're not paid a lot as assistant coach, or at times they're volunteering. They have other jobs, careers, other lives, and they still devote as much time as if they were on salary to make him and his team win, simply because of the love and the pride and the passion they have for the program.
I have 3 words about TJ. He gets it. And when I mean he gets it, you just watch his players without TJ's beckoning or anything, bring the cheerleaders over for the team picture, bring the assistant coaches over for the interview. He was attending soccer championships and baseball games with his team. They support one team, they expect the other teams to support them, but it all starts and stems from him.
Christian Taylor, the sophomore point guard, had to weave through a lot of great pressure. He finished with 14 points. He is standing by with Jillian.
Christian, it got close there at the end. Why was Staten Island able to keep their composure and come out on top tonight?
Because every day in practice we go over stuff like this, so we felt like we were really prepared. We believe in our coach and his game plan, so we were really confident in what he wants us to do.
You mentioned Coach Tibbs. You guys, it was his first year here, but you guys able to repeat. Why was this team able to be just as good as they were last year?
Because of all the hard work we put in and how we believe in ourselves. At the beginning of the year, no one believed in us. We got ranked 5th, but now we're number 1 on top.
When that final buzzer went off and you guys secured the win, the title for CUNY, what did it mean, and take me through your emotions?
I was very excited. I was more excited for our seniors because I know how much hard work they put in every day. And I was really proud of the guys. We're a family and we're a nice brotherhood.
All right, go celebrate with them, okay?
So Terrific thoughts and comments there from Christian Taylor, the point guard that finished with 14 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. He played every single second out there, Ray. There were a number of Dolphins that played like men in this one against a terrific Lehman team.
Two closing thoughts. One, we talked Taylor 40 minutes, but he was a rock. He was an extension of the coach. He made great decisions. 14, 10, and 5 assists with only 2 turnovers, and he had the ball in his hands almost the entire game. And the second thing is, they will not remember this, but we talked earlier about the fickle nature of basketball. They were so close to losing. They're down by 2 points with 20 seconds left in the first round of the tournament. They're not even going to get to the semifinals, and they make a clutch free between Bracic and Taylor. Just good team basketball, and that's the beauty of sports and athletics and competition.
And at the same time, the cruelty that sports can lend on a young person with 10 Lehman seniors seeing their careers finish. They will probably play in the ECAC tournament, which is the NIT of Division III, but it's just not the same. And our final thoughts and the wrap-up here from CCNY. The College of Staten Island goes back-to-back after a 77-75 win over Lehman. For our entire crew, this game was produced and directed by Andy Brill. For my partner Ray Rankus, and for Jillian Sackmans of the sideline, I'm Ralph Kondorczyk saying good night on Facebook Live.